All right. Let's go. Let's go. Yield Guild. How's everybody doing? GM, GN, wherever you are. Happy to be back. We've got the whole squad out here today. Yield Guild alongside League of Kingdoms for another game spotlight feature. So it's going to be a great time. We've got a lot of the LOK community out here from YGG ready on deck to dive in and, throw a bunch of questions at you guys. So I'm ready to dive into this and get caught up on all things that have happened recently. I know there's a lot of grinders here in the community, so this should be really fun. Fallen, Dan, Jay, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for having us here today.
Yeah, let's go. Let's make a great stream tonight.
Yeah, it's like perfect timing. Perfect timing. Yeah, today evening or morning, depending on where you are. I know for us on the East Coast, it's morning, but for most of our player base, it's evening time there.
Yeah, definitely. But it's great to have you guys, and we're excited to dive into LOK, get caught up on all the new updates, share our sentiments here in the community. Before we dive in, if you guys would like to introduce yourselves, tell us a little bit about yourselves, and then we'll roll into some League of Kingdoms.
Yeah, should I go first? Hi guys, my name is Dan. I actually joined the League of Kingdoms team last year, May. Before that, I was in a couple of different industries, and then because I had passion for game all my life, not just League of Kingdoms, not just Web3 gaming, all kinds of games. I played. You name it, I played. So, knowing that I had that passion, I've always wanted to work in a gaming industry, and since Web3 game is a blooming industry, I thought, why not? Let's give it a go. So I joined in last year. So that's about it.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Jay. I'm the community lead of League of Kingdoms. Just like Dan, I have always been an avid gamer, and when I first joined the League of Kingdoms team, actually, I thought it was just a gaming company. Then I realized it was actually a Web3 gaming company, and that's how I ended up in the spiral of Web3 stare. And I really loved taking care of the community, and also being an active member of the developer of the game, but also the aspects of the Web3, the potential, the ideas, new ideas, and all of them are really interesting and makes me really intrigued and fascinated me ever since I've been working here.
Yeah, so Jay is actually the OG member. He was here since almost like the very beginning of League of Kingdoms.
Love it, love it.
Yeah, Jay's name is familiar. We've known each other for quite a while when it's come to actually this game, right? I think Jay, you've been on the same time since I've pretty much joined in and got started involved with YGG, and that kind of relationship started.
Yeah, it really did. Sure. I think it will be soon like 2 years since I started working here. So yeah, I've been through a lot, and it was really exciting every time.
Good to see, honestly. Aside from Axie being one of the early games that myself personally dove into in 2021, League of Kingdoms was part of those first few games where we started getting our feet wet and really diving into these games. So it's interesting to see how far you've come. There's been many developments leading to this point, and you guys are just continuing to move forward. So excited for the future as well. It's a great mobile strategy MMO game. We really do enjoy it here in YGG. I've been grinding it for almost 2 years, or maybe longer, on and off. So I'm at level 25 right now, but I know there's people here that are maxed out, and they've been maxed out for a long time. So it's good to see League of Kingdoms still rolling forward. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we were the earlier batch of game developers. We're still here, and we are building more. So I think at the later stage of the stream, we'll give you guys a sneak peek of what's happening for the future.
Yeah, they've got some leaks that they've shared with us that later in the stream we'll kind of dive into, and I think we've got a few images there to chat about as well. But for now, we're going to start you off light, and we're just going to give the community some kind of updates about the game itself, because you guys did have it's been a huge season of updates, right? You guys had Dragos earlier this year, which was a huge upgrade of mechanics itself, and a kind of another revenue earning stream within LOK. And now you guys have the big update with new level caps and troops and legendary items. Like it's been huge for you guys this year. You've been busy.
Yeah, it really was a blast. I feel like last year was a time where we focused on building the game. We did a lot of internal updates and all that. But this year, now we are really pushing on to those what we have been worked for last year to deliver it to the community this year. So the first one was the Drago, and second one was now this one with the new 6th tier and the mythical treasures. There's also another one, and we are planning on more updates coming in and for the future.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the upcoming updates. One thing that I enjoyed like early on was some of the collaborative, like I guess like skins and items you've released in the game since conception there. I know there's been some, you know, in-game events, but then you had some, you know, third-party partnerships as well. Like the crypto arena one was pretty cool, and just integrating different things into the game. So I'm looking forward to more collabs and things like that moving forward as well. You guys got some things cooking there. That'd be cool.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think one of the biggest like mission that we have in this scene is that we want to grow the pie of like the Web3 game industry itself. Like right now, I know like YGG like players, they are like one of the biggest like, you know, amount of players like in the scene. But other than that, like if you really look at how many players are actually playing Web3 games, it seems very minimal compared to the mainstream Web2 games right now. So like our mission is to really grow the size of that pie. And I think, you know, one of the methods that kind of allows us to grow that pie would be to partner with a lot of third parties, not just guilds, but with other gaming studios that are building games. It's really exciting because we are based in Seoul, Korea, and Korea's you know, traditional big large conglomerate Web2 gaming studios, they've also announced that they are going into Web3 this year, later this year actually. So almost like around 4Q and first quarter next year. So there's a lot of games to come out and release in the scene. We're hoping to do a lot of partnership with all of them, hopefully. But I think, you know, realistically speaking, it would be most of them, because you know, we've built a pretty good connection with the Web2 gaming studios in Korea. So I think you guys can also look forward to potential partnerships and like potential benefits that, you know, you will get just because you guys are playing League of Kingdoms and are loyal fans for us.
I love that. Yeah, that's kind of like a sneak, you know, a little hint there that if you're part of other communities that may end up collabing with LOK in the future, there's some, you know, type of benefit there. So
yes,
stuff.
Of course.
Appreciate the insight. Cool.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that Web3 is trying to really push is this collaboration with games. Like we've started to see it a little bit within Web2, like it's always been there, and then Fortnite kind of pushed it even more with their skins and having collaborations even outside of gaming itself. But I think Web3 will really take that to the next level, right?
Mm-hmm. I think, you know, like right now, because there just aren't that many playable games out there yet, you're seeing some slow development on that side. But I feel like, you know, later this year, early next year, I hope that, you know, there's a massive burst of new games coming into the scene, and once that happens, we really would want to work with them, because, you know, we've done it, we've been there, we've done it. We want to kind of like tell them how to do it, not because like we're better, just because we were here earlier. So I think that being said, you know, we can hopefully do a lot more collaborations with other games, like with actual playable games.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the things that we've talked about in OACLs quite a bit, is right, there's, for the past few years, there's been a lot of like games that have come and gone and like maybe hit alpha or beta but never actually made it to that full release stage, right? LOK is one of those shining examples that has already been like, you guys have been playable for pretty much your inception and you just continue to improve on the game, but there's no like, hey, this is an alpha and then we're going to shut down for 2 weeks and then restart.
Yeah, I think like our founders, especially like the CEO, his one of his philosophy is that, you know, like in a new blossoming industry, it's important to have like a perfect, you know, product, but at the same time, like the speed is really important as well. So it was under his philosophy that he wanted to kind of like run parallel. Like the game could be a little, you know, incomplete, not like, you know, with like major bug issues or like server issues, but as long as like he thought that, you know, it was more important to kind of like get fast and get to the scene and like open the doors for users to come in, and then while that's happening, we're gonna build parallel so that we can, you know, in the end, complete the game. And I think, you know, it's something that has been a theme in gaming industry in general. You know, like in Web2 games as well. Like they would release their first versions of games. Like their contents will be locked up, but they will release like new DLCs and stuff like that later on. And I think, you know, it's really a similar approach that we took. Instead, you know, like we're not trying to do sell some DLCs, but like for us, it was, you know, just the game itself, and since it was free to play, like there's, you know, we've just been continuously updating the contents on a parallel. So I think, yeah, that speed was really important for us. So we just opened up as soon as like we had the basic build for the game.
Yeah, exactly. Get the main game out, and then like you said, it's not necessarily a DLC, but you could almost essentially count this big update as DLC, right? You're adding new characters, new levels, new everything, right? So in a traditional sense, that'd be like a DLC or a season update, as one could say, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think like, you know, this is an interesting discussion because like you mentioned, there's so many different ways that various studios are approaching how they bring their game to market, and every community is different at the same time, right? So when we're talking about, you know, different alphas and betas, there's a difference between the way like LOK is approaching the market and different games are. I think some communities, you know, they're building in the open, they're delivering like constantly, even though it's broken, like they're just giving it to the community to kind of build it like that in a collaborative way. So there's kind of different ways to do it, but LOK has always dropped something that's complete, that is functional, that is fun to play, like, you know, like you said, minimal bugs, and if there are, they're fixed and addressed like very quickly. So I think what you said is a really good like foundation here. You have a solid game. Yes, it's in the early stages. Yes, you know, there's a lot of work to be done, but you've already got, you know, a large player base that enjoys it where it's at, and they will continue to play it as it evolves, and the game will continue to get better as time goes on. So I like LOK's approach. You know, I like the sentiment from you guys, Jay and Dan. It's good stuff.
Thanks. That's what we are looking for in this.
Hey,
in
you got
this
me
team.
excited. I'm gonna pop up the game here so we can, you know, give a visual while we chat.
Mhm.
There we go.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, Sempu or Bibs, if you could pull up those images of the new legendaries as well as the new characters from the images that we got. There we go. Yeah.
Nice.
So we'll just kind of slide through these, and then we'll end off on the actual troops itself. These are your new kind of mythic treasures, right?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. So this is like the stage in the game where now the cap is being
Oop.
exceeded.
Hey, move that one. That's for later. That's for later.
Leaks.
Leaks. Yeah.
But everyone that's been grinding this game and, you know, they're maxed out at this stage, they're primed and ready to just move on to the next level and, you know, pursue the new troops, try to, you know, get these new items as well, and yeah, grow even more powerful and dominate the continents. So
well, that's been the big thing for a lot of our like veteran players, right? They've got all of these unlocked, all the legendaries maxed out and stuff, and they're like, well, besides continent versus continent and the normal day-to-day stuff, like when are we getting that big update, right? Of new stuff. So the level cap is huge, and to get to 35 is like quite a lot of resources, but thankfully a lot of people already had stuff saved up. I don't know how many of us in YGG are. I know a few of our continent players already have level 35. I think our league game ambassador there, Nap, is really close to level 35, if not already there. I know he's in the chat right now, and he'll be joining us on the wrap-up string. We have 6 level 35s on C1, which is crazy considering what the update came out Tuesday of this week, guys.
Yeah, it was Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
But we've got a lot of like committed, loyal LOK members that have been playing and have been grinding for a long time. So they have already been ready or close to ready at this point. So it's good.
Well, exactly. They've been hoarding resources and speed ups just for this moment. Yeah, Nap's at 34. He's almost there, right? So he'll be probably the first.
Yeah, it's crazy because when we release like these updates, we do it so that this content does not get completely exhausted in several days, and it seems that like a lot of the users were already like piling up their basic like their resources and like their speed ups so that they got to like maxed out level like very quickly. I think the first one that ever reached like level 35 was like we saw that person on like Thursday, so it was only like 2 days worth of content, so we're very surprised.
Nice. Yeah, there's some committed players out there, so good to see the competitive spirit.
Yes.
It's awesome. Cool.
There we go. Now we've got the troops. Yeah, and that was another thing I noticed, like even a little while back, right? You guys had kind of updated all the models and everything for even the older troops. Right? And these new ones look fantastic, and I love how you guys have kind of like two different choices of like troop styles within the same class, right?
Yeah, so we try to give it a little more tactical approach to it. So before when you were doing CVCs, it was very very single strategy oriented, I would say. Like when you do CVCs, like which troops go where for certain occasion, and there were no variations to like the strategy, like how you would approach, how you would form your basic troop base. So we wanted to give like an extra challenge there, and also some more competition going on there with the strategy, like which one comes up as like a dominant strategy. And I think to do that we needed to vary the amount of vary the type of the troops that you can build in tier 6.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be interesting to see how the next CVC kind of goes over, right? Like there's not only the huge level cap for different castles and stuff, but there's now this whole new troop mix, right, of what people are going to have. So I'm interested to see how that kind of affects the CVC ladder going into next CVC.
Yeah, that was something that we were looking forward to as well. We want to see like how the players are mix and matching their troop types when they're sending out their army.
Nice. Yeah, more variation. For the most part, it's been like cavalry and archers and
yes,
yeah, just the basic go-to strats. So it's good to see some versatility, added some variety, and we'll see how it changes up the gameplay a bit here. It's going to be interesting. Cool. So yeah, just to throw a few questions around the room here, before we dive into some community questions and more deeper elements here. Just share some sentiments, folks, like early on, like Fallen and anybody here in the community, and you guys as well, Dan and Jay, like in the early stages of LOK, what are the features that really captivated you? Like, what are the things about this game that have interested you guys from the beginning?
Well, like I said, first off, just being able to have a game that's pretty much ready to go and play, and you can play it on, you know, your phone or whatever you need to do, was a huge out the gate kind of thing. And for me, there's, you know, only so much time in the day when you're doing other things, so it's easy to kind of hop into LOK, send your troops out, do a few things, and then hop off throughout the day. So that's really piqued my interest there. And then, like I said, we have such a vibrant community here within YGG for LOK itself. Right, we have our own kind of sub DAO in a sense that have been kind of governing and doing all their things. Again, shout out to Nat for handling most of that. So we've got a you know, good land revenue sharing program now, and now we have the Dragos as well. We've got all 60 of our Dragos rented out, and we're breeding more. So it's you know, it's going in the right direction there. We've also started kind of giving away some resources as well, because we have a huge amount. That's one of the things I think we're still working on there. I know, Jay, I think we've talked about it a few times within the chats, is that the Gnosis would be great if we could still connect the Gnosis so we could get some of those resources out. You know, hindsight's 2020 in that regard.
Yeah, we did. Gnosis. But yeah, I think what fascinated me most about the game was the MMO aspect of it. Having the game itself revolves around the community and what kind of alliances you are in, and that is definitely what made me interesting to see how guilds actually interact and sometimes take the whole continents for themselves to have their players into that continent. And that was really interesting for me to see. And yeah, it's I think that was most interesting, and what we really did well that fits really great with Web3 and how the community are so strong in the Web3 spaces.
Yeah, I think for me too, like it was always like the community. So like I'm a late joiner to this company and like to the game, and you know, I started late. And what happens usually when I start a game later than everyone else is that I end up playing alone, and then losing interest in the game very quickly, especially with like mobile games, you know. But it was a little different with like League of Kingdoms, because I think the moment that I joined a random continent, like as I like created my ID, a lot of people kind of like came to me, chatted up. Once they found out that, you know, I was not a bot, obviously, they came to me, and then they started, you know, talking to me, telling me, helping me how to do things, and you know, how to like, what's like the best strategy to level up, what's like the best strategy to, you know, get your resources, get the diamond mines and stuff like that. So like it was really that stickiness within the community that helped me not let go of the game, especially like a mobile game, because that tends to happen to me like a lot of times, because I normally end up diving into a game like later than everybody else, and then I just like end up, you know, not playing it after like a few days. But it was really different with League of Kingdoms, because I think it's all thanks to the community.
Yeah, there's a lot of support. And like, speaking of the community, like as you can see here, we've got our community all tight knit right here in the realms. And I like that you can really like customize your castle. Like, you know, I've got a little Sphinx, like an Egyptian style theme, and there's various themes all throughout our guild as well. But look at the community, right? Like, so many people are here playing this game. We've even got alliances with other guilds and, you know, extensions of our guild as well. And we're all here collaborating within League of Kingdoms, trying to attain resources, trying to level up, like you said, trying to conquer the continents and basically stake our claim here and yeah, dominate, right? So it's really fun. It is.
Yeah, maybe I think we have a few questions here for Jay or Dan, if you guys feel like answering them, and they're all kind of around the Drago, the DST shop in game, right, which is another new feature there. So the first question is kind of, is the items within the shop, like, are we going to be adding like more of those?
Well, potentially, I will say, at this stage of the game, we've been for the past few months, we've been focusing on Drago update, and then have a lot of different patches after that to help out the Drago more. facilitate fluently to the game. And then we did the 6th-tier update. We did some bug fixes that last the entirety of last week as well. But we're definitely open to expand a lot more features for the DST, the Drago Lair, and the Drago, and of course the land as well. We also got a lot of great suggestions from the community as well. We bring it to the table to the discussion with our team, our the developers, the designers, and hopefully we can get something more delivered to help help capture the value of DST more inside the game.
Yeah, exactly. I think you guys have been really great with kind of listening to the community feedback and saying like, okay, we'll add this, right? I think a lot of people expect these things to go a lot quicker, but just in general game development, right? You got to take your time and get the, like we said, the core content out, and then you can worry about tweaking everything throughout the season as feedback comes and what you guys think. So that's, to me, I was thinking along the same lines as like that Drago shop. You just wanted to get it initially out. And then you'll probably add or tweak items as you guys see fit throughout the future seasons and stuff.
Exactly.
It's good stuff. Loving it so far. We're still here. Like I said, it's 2021. Now we're in 2023.
Yeah.
Moving towards the next year. We're still grinding. So it's good stuff.
Yep. And then another question we had from Boring is regarding like updates for bugs and stuff. And I think you guys constantly do updates regarding bugs and different things, right?
Of course. Yeah, I think for this week we had the 3rd-year anniversary event, and it has causing a bit of a delay and a lag to the game. So we are tending to it as well. And also for the future, I think so we're expecting to have a major update on our main quest. It was planned to go with the Season of Legends update, but we decided to have it more tested before launching it. But that one is definitely coming, and we're also gonna visit the battle calculation and how it works. It has been mentioned for about a half a year ago, but we kind of ended up solving some of the major lags that we had in different ways, so it was kind of postponed until the Tier 6 update. But now we're going to revisit it so that we can have more something dynamic battles that you can actually see visually throughout the game, and will definitely have some impact on the lag, and hopefully have improve the lag issues and that as well. And later on, we're planning on adding a new content, something that you can actually have some new experience other than the ones we had before. It hasn't been clearly decided on which way we want to go, because we have a bunch of different ideas, and we're still it's not still under discussion, but we definitely want to drop some new content for the players as well.
Okay, new content coming. Be ready. Nice.
Yeah, maybe that's a nice segue into kind of leaking that new content in some of those images, if you guys want to chat about that.
Oh yeah, sure.
Let's go.
Senpu or Bibs, if you don't mind bringing up those 2 other images already on it. So there's the first one. Maybe you want to kind of just chat about what we're looking at here.
Okay, so this is something totally separate from the new content update that we're planning. This is actually from it's a leak image from our new game that we've been working on. We have a separate team who has been working on for making this new game. And one thing that we want to highlight is that we were going to have all our NFTs, the lands, Drago, and probably skin as well to the new game, and also LOK token as well, so that League of Kingdoms and this new game can interact and interoperate with each other and make it like double the fun, and also add tons of value to the NFTs that we have. So right now on this screen is the world map of the new game, but it is actually based on the League of Kingdoms as well. So right now it's blank in the center, but there we actually put the Congress of the League of Kingdoms there, and we're going to slowly unfold the lores of how the world has changed to this way. And also hopefully, it's not 100% decided, but this is my personal desire that if we have this update of the new world map, I really wanted to have it on the LOK as well to have it matched with the new game. So yeah, that's I hope that explains about this image.
That'd be nice. It's great to see that you guys are moving forward with another installment and trying to progress towards interoperability and a multi-game ecosystem. So yeah, it's been a long way to get to this point where games have solidified themselves like League of Kingdoms, and now they're moving on to releasing extensions of their current games and just enhancing the overall experience. I'm excited to see what you guys have in store, how this is gonna intertwine into League of Kingdoms and how the game's going to evolve. Looks very interesting.
Yeah, that's the whole point of this. If you can get us the next image, so we want to highlight that it will be a totally different type of game where it'll be something similar to dungeon crawling, or like similar to something like Darkest Dungeon, the second one, Darkest Dungeon 2. And it will be totally different from what LOK is. So these two games will definitely not going to kill each other. It will have different kind of entertainment and enjoyment for each of this game, and that's what we are planning on, because like we felt that in the League of Kingdoms there's like we can add much more new contents, but if we want to try something new with the NFTs that we have, we thought maybe we will need a new game, and that's how the idea started. And as we move forward, we decided to have it a totally new mechanism, totally new genre for the game. And yeah, it's still under work in progress. Many things will be changed from this image, but really look forward to the day that I can share much more details to the community and everyone.
Yeah, it's great to get some early leaks, right? So if LOK isn't someone's cup of tea in terms of gameplay, maybe this game, right, is up their alley, and then it's great because LOK YGG already has assets, right? And those players won't kind of be left out, right? If they really like this new game, there'll be some sort of utility with the assets that YGG already has to allow them to kind of push to that extra level, right?
Yeah, well, like with this new game, we're not trying to like launch new tokens, new NFTs. I mean, later on, maybe new NFTs like pertaining to that game, but the new NFTs will also be able to be used in League of Kingdoms, like the original game as well. So we're just like really trying to push forward the interoperability part of Web3 and try to showcase like how NFTs can actually work between two different games. So rest assured, for those who already have our assets from League of Kingdoms, we're gonna make them usable in the new game.
Nice.
Yeah, that's great. You're not kind of diluting the collection.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is true. I think one thing that's cool about this is like, Fallen, you mentioned, is the fact that you have a separate game coming out. It's not the same genre, so it can appeal to others in the community that want to get involved with the LOK community, or maybe it's their specialty, right? It's their niche of the game, and they can contribute effectively on that aspect as well, on this part of the ecosystem. So it's interesting that you're adding another layer of game here, and it also opens the doors of LOK, right, for new players with different interests to get involved. And then we had a discussion before with Illuvium where they're doing a similar thing, bringing multiple games in and having them all kind of coexist and work off of each other, right? So the fact that you're doing that, it just opens up a new dynamic of play where different niches of players can collaborate with one another and strategize to dominate across different games that are interconnected, right? So it's just something totally new, and it's exciting to see. Yeah, guys, I'm excited. Looking forward to the new game.
Me too.
Awesome. So, yeah,
I think that concludes our leaks for now. I'm sure we'll have more information from you guys as we move closer. Any idea when kind of we'll get the first taste of gameplay of that game, if you guys can even share that?
I mean, our initial target was like end of this year, but I think the schedule might be pushed back a little bit. So I think like for now we can't like really say for sure like, hey, this is like the timeline, but
Yep.
definitely sometime around next year. It's not gonna go, over next year for the
Yeah,
new game to
cool.
come out.
Cool. So we can probably look forward to some teasers around the end of this year or Q1 of
Yes,
next year.
yes. I think by end of this year we'll try our best to give you guys some more leaks on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, you can definitely look forward to something from our side by the end of this year.
Perfect. Yeah. I look forward to that, and maybe we can do some sort of collaboration for that launch or beta access as well. We'll chat a little bit more.
Yes, let's do that.
Obviously.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
because
great to
again,
hear.
right? I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but we're launching our Super Quest platform, which is separate from our Gap Quest platform. And again, LOK is like one of our largest Gap Quests library within there. Again, I'm not sure. Senpu, maybe you want to bring that up for last season. So if you guys are looking to grind out some Gap Quests, LOK is another great game for that as well. Right, we have a huge selection of quests there, and like I said, maybe we can work with you guys on launching some super quests as well within the game. You guys have been great for collaboration, so maybe we can continue to add more and more stuff for our players to go after.
That'd be great. Yeah, the YGG community is strong here within LOK, so we're ready. I know all of these, committed and loyal members of the kingdom are ready. So yeah, it's exciting to see that there's more quests coming out. I know there's a very extensive quest line for LOK, so it's good. And like League of Kingdoms has always been direct and like clear in their delivery. Like, you mentioned you're giving us a little estimate, some leaks of when to expect this game, but I'm sure you guys will keep the community updated, just like how you did with the Dragos and everything else to this point. So I know you guys are gonna do well to communicate and make sure all the players are ready to go when the time comes. It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. I mean, we've been in this scene for long enough. We'll try to, deliver to our community members as fast as we can. Although it might be a little slow, considering all these like different updates and like different new layer ones and like new things like popping up in Web3. But we'll make sure that we'll deliver in the end.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah,
Love
well,
it.
it's great to know you guys are in it for the long haul, right? Like we've seen a lot of Web3 studios kind of close shop to say, right? It's just the bear market's been kind of brutal for them, right? And LOK has been consistent. Technically, I guess it's not the first bear market for LOK, right? So
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
it's
so
not,
yeah, I mean, like the first my first day at job, it was the day before Luna happened.
yep.
So yeah, I mean that was my I guess it's like my invitational show, and then later that year it was FTX. And I mean there are going to be like continuously going to be these ups and downs in the market, and I think it's safe to say that for us we are here for the long shot, so we're not trying to do something. We're not trying to like experiment in a short duration and then just leave the scene if we think that it's not working. If we think it's not working, we're going to try to fix it, and we're going to try to come up with like new things and other different solutions instead of just completely leaving the scene. So I think you guys can. I mean, our track record shows that. So I think you guys can believe in us when we say that we will try to deliver.
Regardless of market conditions, I can say that League of Kingdoms, like if you want to play it on PC or mobile, but I prefer it on mobile. But it's a fun game. The in-game system, it works, and the guild system is great. It's just really balanced, and gamers are gonna game regardless of bear markets, bull markets, and you have a good game. It's casual. It's easy for anybody to start playing, regardless of what platform you want to use, and it's fun to play with your friends and community, right? And just yeah, build, and it's really cool. Like it reminds me of some conquest games in the past, like 10 years ago. I used to play games like this, like some real-time strategy games, and it just gives a nostalgic vibe as well. and it's easy to get going. Like I said, to play it on your mobile phone. You don't have to play it consistently or religiously every day, committing hours and hours. Like, yes, there are events and you collaborate with your guilds and your friends and other guilds as well, but for the most part it's fairly casual and it's a social game and it's fun. So you guys are doing a good job. Looking forward to the continued evolution of League of Kingdoms.
Thank you. We will continue to try to meet the expectations.
Nice. Love to hear it. Community is key, right?
Yeah, I think we actually have a question from Nap, who is our leader over here for YGC side, or I should say one of our leaders. He just wants to know, and again, maybe you guys haven't got so far in this process yet, will there be some kind of activities within LOK that affect the new game? So let's say, like an example, gaining XP with your Drago, will that possibly carry over to your Drago in the other game?
So I think right now we are trying to test that theory because we don't want to destroy the balance of the game. Like we want to keep a healthy relationship between the OGs and like the newbies, and we are trying to come up with a solution that does not break that balance completely. I mean, we do want to give back to like the OG players because they've been loyal to us. They've been like playing our game for a long time. But at the same time, because this is a completely new genre, we want like new players like who haven't been playing League of Kingdoms to try it out as well. But if like the OG players get too much of a buff from League of Kingdoms, it might completely destroy the ecosystem, and it might not be as fun, and it might not bring as many people onto the table. So I think for now, let's just say that we're testing out where that fine line is.
This is good. Yeah, that's one thing I like about League of Kingdoms, as I mentioned earlier, is there's so much focus on the overall balance and how it's going to affect like the broader ecosystem of gamers here. And the fact that you guys are considering this moving forward with the next game, it's very good. It's very considerate, and it just helps overall when like the game starts and just growth, like you said, right? You don't want to have players discouraged when they come in and there's people that are already dominating because of their skin in the game, right? But something cool would be maybe some perks like cosmetics or skins or weapons or something, just that doesn't have the advantage factor in the game, but just something of recognition that you were there, like an OG type of badge or in-game item, things like that. I think would be cool. Maybe you could consider that for the OGs.
Oh, I mean,
But
of course,
overall-
like we are definitely looking to recognize the OG members of the game. It's just that, as I said, it's just for if we give perks that are like in-game related, it might destroy the overall balance. And I think,
Right.
For MMO games, the key is a continuous inflow of new gamers, not just, the gamers that already know each other, right? For the entertainment side. I mean, if the OGs like only hang out with like by themselves, it might be fun in like the first like few weeks, but as time goes on, it's going to be boring, right? Because you want to meet new people, you want to meet new challenges, right? So I think we're really trying to find a solution to not really destroy that balance. And I mean, at the same time, we're definitely looking to recognize our OG players coming in from League of Kingdoms.
Yeah, I think that's been the biggest issue with any game, right? Is how do you strike that balance between bringing on new players but also rewarding your longtime veterans without obviously skewing that balance to where the new players do not want to play because the whales are too far ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we do want the whales to also enjoy the game, but I feel like at the end of the day, if the whales want to enjoy the game, they also need to interact with other new players, right? So they want to meet up with like new players coming in, new challenges, and maybe like some new whales coming in as well, right? So I think
Yeah.
to allow that to happen, we gotta find that fine balance between recognizing the OG players and not destroying the overall balance by giving them too many perks in the game. So we're trying to find that fine line, but as I said, it's a really hard job to do. So it is gonna take some while. but do understand that we are definitely looking to recognize our original players.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The social aspect of LOK is strong, and like there are so many communities across the world that are involved in this game and that collaborate and strategize and get into rivalries, and so many things just go on within these continents, right? And it's just amazing to see that, you know, there's a level of governance, there's a level of respect and boundaries, and just a way to, you know, work together to navigate League of Kingdoms. It's pretty interesting. There have been times where, you know, neighboring guilds, you know, have issues with new members maybe going into their territory and things like that. Like there are so many rules set in place to structure different regions within the continent and how different communities govern their lands, right? So yeah, the social aspects are huge in LOK, and you definitely don't want to, you know, damper that or hurt that with the new game, right? You want it to flow and continue to be fun. So good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, rivalry is an essential part of playing a game. Like, let's say, you know, like in any other game, you become like a god in the game, right? And then, I mean, yeah, first few days it's really fun. You just go around like killing everybody, destroying everything, literally becoming a god in the game. But as time goes on, it's no longer going to be fun because the contents you do are going to be the same, and you know your godlike powers are no longer going to like come back give you a reward as it used to initially, right? So you want, you know, people to come and challenge you. You want people to come and challenge your throne, and for that to happen, you got to be able to foster newer players or other gamers and like, you know, ignite that competitiveness. And you know, like I've seen so many times where, you know, guilds have problems with other guilds, right? But like the very next week they become friends because they have a new enemy coming up to them. So I think we really want to, you know, foster this community as much as possible. And I think, you know, to do that is to not break that balance. Yeah, not make the OG players too OP.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I think it's one of those things, right? When you guys introduced CVC, it was a total shift, right? There was all this infighting within a lot of continents and stuff, and then once CVC started, it was like, okay, screw it, we got to all band together as a continent to win against other ones, right?
Yeah, I mean that's what, you know, daily life is about, isn't it? Your enemy today could be your best friend tomorrow.
Yeah, collaboration is key, honestly. League of Kingdoms is definitely quite the experience. I want to ask you guys how you, you know, figure like other games in the market. Like, are there any competitors out there that you feel are, you know, doing something similar in the right direction? Like, I know there's a few games that are close. I haven't played any personally that are exactly like League of Kingdoms, blockchain integrated and all that good stuff. I know Heroes of Mavia recently released, and you know, there's a Block Lords as well, right? So Block Lords is definitely doing big things, and it's similar to League of Kingdoms, but its own, you know, beast in a way, right? But yeah, I'd like to know your thoughts on, you know, some of the competitors, who's doing things right, and yeah, just any mentions that you guys may have that you know, you've taken some inspiration from for LOK.
So I think, you know, for now, we aren't really looking deeply into any competitors because, as I said in the beginning, like the pie size is too small. So it's ridiculous for us to consider somebody a competitor and like somebody a friend, a non-friend, because, you know, like right now I think it's time to really collaborate as an industry as a whole. You know, like,
Right.
you know, even with like YGG, you know, there's a lot of different guilds, you know, up and rising, but you guys are not trying to like stamp them down. It's more like you guys are trying to collaborate with them so that you guys can both, you know, grow sizes and, you know, bring more people in. Like right now, like if you have, you know, a pie that can feed like 5 people, like is there a real big meaning in fighting over that, you know, pie size that can only feed 5 people when you can grow it to a pie size that can feed like thousands and millions of people? So I think right now we're really focusing on the collaboration aspect. We're trying to build with other players who are coming in, and I think, you know, that's what we're really focusing on right now. So like even if it's a different genre, even if it's like a different game, we really try to find ways to collaborate and work with them. So I mean, there's like a few games like coming up in the next like few days. That's like FPS. Like it's a triple A style FPS game that is coming out like from Korea, and we're trying to find ways where we can collaborate on like the aesthetics at least, or even like give some perks for like our members, their members, and stuff like that. So I think it's less about competition that we're focusing on right now. It's more about how we can help each other and grow like the industry bigger.
Yeah, definitely. I was more focused on like similar games that you might consider, that are doing it right, that you would want to work with, that, they're comparable to LOK, right? So Block Lords, as I mentioned, if you haven't looked at it yet, maybe consider looking at them to collaborate with, or Heroes of Mafia. They're similar base builder style, rating style games, MMOs, and you never know, maybe there could be some collaborations there in the future if you feel they're doing good things out there, right? So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
good to see.
definitely. I think up till like this point, we were really focused on releasing our new content update, and like now that we've done it, we've done the big homework. We can look around and see what are possibilities, and I'll definitely look into Block Lords and Heroes of Mafia. Was it?
Mafia,
Mafia.
Mavia. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
MIVI.
more like
Oh, yeah,
Clash
yeah,
of Clans, yeah,
yeah.
but similar concepts, So there could be some interesting and meaningful collabs if you guys can work together. You never know. So, cheers to that.
Yeah, well, definitely. I'm actually trying to look into them right now.
Nice, awesome. Leaks here, guys. Spilling the beans.
And maybe on that note, right, we'll just take a few more closing thoughts here, since we're almost at the top of the hour, right? So yeah, anything from Dan or Jay that you'd like to shout out before we wrap this up?
I mean, I feel like I've taken too much of a floor time. So Jay, if you want to wrap it up.
All right. So I'm really happy when I'm doing the AMA with Dan, because he I can just sit back and relax while he talks. But,
Yeah.
but anyway, I just wanted to say to the community that we want to thank you everyone, and of course YGG, to be with us and really enjoying our game, and that's just like the sole reason why I'm happy and working in here. And one thing everyone to know is that we had a lot of we had we went a lot of ways since last year, and we are looking forward to a lot of new updates coming this year. I think after the Season of Legends update, what I feel like was that we kind of finished everything that we planned ahead last year, and now it's time for bringing something new to the game, new contents, new things, and also adding a lot of quality of life updates, or some of the suggestions that community shared to the game. Now is the time for that. So I'm really excited to see how much we can go, how far we can go from here, and really look forward to share that with you.
For
Yeah,
sure.
appreciate the leaks for coming on here, right? And we're gonna continue to do these spotlights, so we'll continue to chat in the background and foster this relationship and try and get more stuff lined up, right? It just so happens that this AMA kind of lined up with the release of your update here. So if we can kind of schedule more stuff to line up with releases as they come out, or whenever you guys are promoting stuff, I think that's great for both of us.
Definitely.
It was an amazing time and perfect.
Yeah. And everybody watching, make sure you follow League of Kingdoms across socials, jump into their Discord, keep up to date with everything going on. You'll find all the updates and everything you need to know. There's a large community, so if you need help, that's the place you want to be. LOK and here in YGG as well. We've got a strong community here. So it's honestly been fun. I've enjoyed chatting with you guys. Very insightful. A lot of things to look forward to moving into the end of the year, maybe. We'll see that new game. We'll see. Fingers crossed. And yeah, looking forward to more updates in the future. It's been great.
Yep. Thank you guys, and the YGG community. You guys are always been a big loyal fan base for us. We're always like, you know, out there to hear you guys when you guys have any opinions. So please like send it our way. We do take them very seriously. We do try our best to cater to your questions and like your needs. But yeah, I mean, sometimes it might take a little time, but we are definitely looking into them. So just wanted to, you know, send it out there.
Yeah, make the noise. That's all you got to do. Community, just keep yelling at LOK devs, and they will get it done. Your voice will be
Exactly.
heard. GG's.
I think that
Yeah.
wraps that up. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys hopping on, and like I said, we'll be in touch. Continue to chat, and big thank you to you guys for making the time and joining us. I think we've got 2 videos that we want to share there, right, Sempu? And we'll play those, and then we'll wrap it up for the day.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks,
let's
guys.
go.
Awesome. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Get to
you.
replay.